Hey guys! How often do you feel that the game is unwinnable, even after a small mistake? How often it feels like there is nothing you can do in certain game? Of course, League can be very frustrating and tilting, especially for players who aiming to get the highest possible rank. I am not an exception. I had really bad mentality that kept me in my elo and made me lose 200 or even 400 LPs in one day. Right now my mentality is great and I'm winning much more than I did before. So in this video I will talk about why our mental is important for every League game, how to deal with frustration and focus on your own improvement. Get ready and enjoy. Let's start it. First, let's talk about why mentality and the right attitude is very important for us as players and humans. People have feelings and emotions. Anything can switch our mood and change the perception of a certain thing. For example, is a glass of water half full or half empty? Depending on your mood, emotions and personality, you can answer differently to this question. Not only that, your answer may be different on a bad day and a good day. It's the same with League of Legends. Small mistakes by either you or your teammates can really tilt you if you have a bad day and lost some games before. On the other hand, even if you are 10k gold behind on a good day, you still can keep your positive attitude and try to carry the game. It's all about our perception. So, with good mentality and right attitude, you likely will see more good plays to get some sort of advantage. You will click more, think more, ping more and give your everything to the game. Having a good mentality is a very underrated skill that can help you not only in the league, but in your life overall. Now you know why mentality and right attitude is very important, but how to be cool and don't tilt in our beloved game? Well, it is not easy, and there won't be the same answer for every player. We all are different. We perceive the world differently. And of course, the effectiveness of different methods will vary. I will list and explain a couple of methods that helped me personally and improved my mentality by a lot. First method is very simple. Think about the game so you won't have time to tilt. League is a very complex game. You can check so many things, ask a lot of questions and still wonder what is the best play in certain situation. When you are loading in the game, imagine how lanes will go. Think about price in lanes, jungle matchup and what you should avoid. In the game itself, track enemy jungle and mid lane position and don't forget to constantly ward. You also should be able to farm greatly and think about wave states. Would be good if you think about what you wanna do, about threats and about any important information in general. See, there are so many things that you need to do in order to become the better version of yourself. If you constantly question yourself and get heavily involved in the game, you probably won't even have time to tilt. It's improving both your gameplay and your mentality. Second method requires some skill and game knowledge. People tend to believe that you can win any game, even with the worst possible draft. Even some coaches of pro teams would like a game to be rather about playmaking and execution rather than draft before the game. It works in other smaller games and works to some extent in League. If you are much better than your opponent, you will win, even with the worst draft. However, it's not the case in solo queue. If you are stuck on a certain rank, you will lose the games because of the draft. If you know that chances of winning certain game is very low, you can either dodge or play it out to improve something. For example, improve at CSing. It works even better in higher elo games, where people won't make random mistakes, and the result of the game will be more predetermined. So, if you know the draft doesn't look great and your chances are low, don't raise your expectations about the game. Even if you are winning early, you can lose in mid-game pretty easily. I personally have such games in Master Elo. Of course, you still should try your best to win, or at least improve in this game, so your time won't be wasted for free. You can check info box on the top right or check description to learn more about drafts. It's important to mention that if you don't know the theory behind champ select and will make random assumptions about drafts, you can find yourself to use it as an excuse to not try hard in a certain game. It can be a dangerous thing, so I recommend to do it only after learning draft phase well. Third method is more trivial and doesn't require any skill, but you need to understand what exactly tilted you. You need to find the trigger which made you tilt. It can be some AFK farm top laner or engaged tank sitting behind you, anything really. Then after the game you ask yourself two questions. First, was reacting with certain emotion because of this situation helpful to achieve my goal? This one exact question will calm you down already. But here is the second question. Did me reacting like that help in any shape or form to make me notice details I could have done better in order to improve? Of course, you probably will answer to these questions with no, unless you are very tilted. If you will do it from time to time, your brain will learn and won't trigger on certain things as much as it did before. It's also good to write down things that tilted you, so you can see your improvement and trends, like what exact thing is tilting you the most. Such method requires some dedication, but the result is fantastic and it was very helpful for me. This method is all about focusing on yourself, so let's dive into this topic. League is a 5v5 game. Everything will change from game to game. Teammates, items, runes, builds, macro and micro. Everything except one constant. You as a player is a constant in the mathematical equation. If your number is big enough to tilt most of the equation in your favor and you are consistent with this number, you will climb long term no matter what. So what does it give to us? Of course you need to focus only on your number. Why do you need to care about other numbers that are constantly changing, when you can improve your own constant and win more and more games? Focus on yourself. See your mistakes, analyze your deaths, think about your wave states. Just think about anything you could do better. Even small clicks are important and can be meaningful to your growth as a player. For example, I'm sure you heard how often pro players click on their mouse and keyboard. It helps to be involved in the game and affecting your opponent's perception. If you will simply click more in your games, you soon will notice that you are dodging enemies' abilities much easier and they are playing more carefully. Even simple clicks are very important. It is also an additional reason to use a click button. You can see the range of your champion with it and click a lot more. Insanely effective way of playing League. Overall, focus on your own improvement as a constant in your games. Now you know why mentality and right attitude is very important in your games. Sure, some of these methods maybe won't work for you, but don't fall into despair. You can create your own methods that will help you to have a good mental. Just think what will calm you down and how to explain to your own brain why blaming people and tilting is not an effective way to play this game. Your own enemy is yourself. Fight yourself in order to become a better player and human overall. I hope you liked this video and it was useful for you. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you and goodbye.